What's going on? Your man Will Freeman coming at you live from Chiang Dao, which is maybe 2 hours outside of Chiang Mai, and it's just gorgeous up here. Absolutely some of the best views I've ever seen. And I'll tell you boys, one of the best things for your state is just hopping on a motorcycle. You got your Spotify and the earbuds, getting that vitamin D on your skin. And I was gonna do this video another time, but I wanted not to waste this view. I want to talk about the savings, okay? And savings is what enabled me to get here and to be able to enjoy this stuff, all right? I did what a lot of guys don't do. I just sat there in a job I hated, which was sales, made as much money as I could, and I stacked as much of it as I could for at least the last 3-4 years before I left, and I'd planned my exit. Okay, you want to know how to do that? Check out my book, How to Sell. It teaches you how to sell, how to survive and thrive in the corporate world, and how to plan your exit and get out and build your own service business. I mean, ideally you can build your own service business from the start, you know, if you know how to get clients and get paid. But a lot of guys don't have that confidence, or they don't have that ability to sell. And corporate sales, you know, basically made me the man I am today, not just mental toughness wise, but in terms of being able to sell and being able to generate state and transmit that state to other people, as well as be able to solve other people's problems. I don't think there would be RLD if I didn't go through that, as much as I hate to admit it, because I loathed being in sales. But I was able to save, and saving is what bought me my freedom, okay? A lot of guys talk about being a billionaire or whatever. Like, dude, let's focus on what matters, okay? Getting your income up to 6 figures, stacking cash as much as you can, and then bailing out to be able to do your own thing and live wherever you want and cruise up here, okay, on a Sunday afternoon, just because, man. Just because that's the life you created for yourself. So the thing you need to understand about savings, and it's this one thing, okay? It's this one mentality is going to change everything. Whenever you're thinking about buying something, I don't care whether it's food, I don't care whether it's clothing, I don't care whether it's a computer, I don't care whether it's a car, ask yourself, how much of my net worth does this cost me? Okay, let me say that again. How much of my net worth is this costing me? All right? That question will totally reframe the entire way you look at money. Because I look at every dollar as an investment, okay? It could be a dollar in investing in my health by eating healthy food, or, you know, getting blood sugar back up after, you know, not eating for a couple hours. It's an investment on my wealth in terms of investing in RLD. It's an investment in my well-being in terms of investing in anti-aging technologies. It's an investment in self-esteem in terms of buying clothes. It's an investment in temporary happiness for going out with the boys, having a few drinks, chasing girls. Like, everything you think about money should be about investing, okay? And money can only be spent. That's the purpose of money. The best way to spend money is on your financial security if you don't have it, okay? Because that's probably, unless your health is bad, your biggest problem is money. You just don't realize it, okay? But you got guys who will, you know, they got $1,000 in their bank account and they'll go blow $100 on the bar, okay? I went out with a couple readers last night. I blew maybe $30, all right? But that's nowhere near, that's not a percentage of my net worth. You got guys blowing 10% of their fucking net worth on a night out, only to invest in a hangover the next day and to piss it all out the next morning. It's fucking insane, okay? There's a link in the comments below, or sorry, in the info below, as well as in the article for this video. 8,000 Americans surveyed. 57 fucking percent of Americans have less than $1,000 in their bank account. 57%. 25% didn't have any money in their savings, okay? So any emergency, any health problem, any purchase that has to be made, any investment in a business, can't do it, okay? They're living paycheck to paycheck. And I saw this with my own, I saw guys making 100K, 150K, 250K in sales, and they can't afford their own lives, okay? I grew up with a guy who became a VP at Lehman for a while and moved on somewhere else, making 250K, but he married a tiger mom. Couldn't afford his life. And she was railing on him for not being home, as well as for not making more money. Because she'd spend whatever he had. Worked with another guy making $250 a year as a salesman. Not enough for his wife because she wanted to do the renovations and the deck and have another kid. Okay, there's no one in my family right now, with the exception of myself, and God willing, by the grace of God, that's possible, and God willing will continue, who's not struggling financially. I'm talking about guys, not your parents' age, but like everyone in my family from 18 to 35 is struggling financially, especially the guys in their 40s who have kids, because they can't afford those kids, man. A lot of my family's out in BC where a bungalow is $750,000 in an industrial neighborhood. I mean, it's out of fucking control because people don't save, people live on credit, they've forgotten the lessons learned from the Great Depression, and to compete with those fucking idiots, you have to live on credit, right? A mortgage with 10% down, a car with no money down, and all your money going to rent and going to debt, okay? The only good debt is corporate debt, where you don't have to pay it off, right? Or even better, when you're too big to fail and the government bails you out. That's the kind of debt that you want. Personal credit card debt, that's a nightmare, dude. Okay, you need savings. That's what's gonna. You know why China's ripping America's face off right now? Because everyone there has savings, and they're forced to by the government. Singapore forces its citizens to save 10% of their income. I want you guys saving 40%, dude. $1,000 in your bank account is a fucking disaster, man. Okay? Like, you're gonna need, if you wanna live in the West, if you wanna come out here, you won't need as much, but if you wanna retire in the West, you're gonna need 2.5 mil by the time you're 65, dude. Okay? You need 1 million right now to retire in the West. But with inflation, by the time you retire, that's gonna be 2.5 mil. And because those social programs that exist and the pension plans, that's not gonna make it. That's not gonna make it when North America is a poor country and all the money's in Asia and you can't afford to pay out any of these plans. Okay? That's what's going down in the world. So every time you think about something, think about how much it's costing you, all right? You got people with $5,000 in the bank spending $3,000 on a vacation, 60% of their net worth. Or you got people with no money in the bank spending $6,000 on a vacation on fucking credit card debt. I worked with a guy like that. He had a house, he had a wife, he had no money in the bank, and they'd go on vacation every year to Rome or something, dropping $10,000. Okay? So it's not even a percentage of your net worth because your net worth doesn't exist. All right? It's a percentage of your debt, which is now compounding interest negatively, which is an absolute fucking disaster. Okay? If that economic collapse happens in the US, and I've got an article on how to prepare for that, it's going to be worse than the Great Depression because people don't have any savings now and they're on debt. I mean, those statistics are absolutely insane, guys. So, in short, man, the way out of wage slavery is to buy your way out, okay? That's how you get out of slavery in this world. You buy your way out. You do it by increasing your income and stacking as much of your cash. My man Grant Cardone tells you to save 40%. I say, save more if you can. Especially if you got your exit plan on site. I think I was saving maybe 60 or 70%, for the last 2 years in sales before I left. It was just like everything, dude. I wasn't going out. Every spare minute I had was spent on RLD, including my actual time at work, because they didn't treat me well. So I spent as much of my time on my own business as possible. Okay. And I'd go out maybe once a month, and that austerity is what got me to be able to be here and be talking to you and being actually in a business that I love and having clients that I love. Okay. And as opposed to in sales where my clients treated me terribly. I mean, all these things, I could go on, but it really came from saving and then being able to reinvest that savings into a high margin, high ROI business, which you should do before you quit your job. Okay. So think about that every time you're about to spend money, dude. Even if it's for a meal, how much of my net worth am I spending here? Okay, because that'll check you real quick, right? What's your savings target, right? Okay, say you want to save $100,000, which I think is a good target to never have less than $100,000 in your bank account, dude. That $1,000, right? Like that better be for your business, $1,000 for a new computer that's going to help you do better in business is great. You know, $3,000 on a vacation, dude, you can't afford that right now. You know, wait till you're making 10 grand a month in your own thing, right? So that's the mentality. Hope that found you well. And you know, I wish you guys all the best. I wish everybody's, you know, able to be free and have the lifestyle you want. And I know you can do it. You just have to buckle down, get the savings together, and, you know, really get serious, man.